Okay, we are doing this part given the substance to be in the solid, liquid or gaseous state. I've given the temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. We are asked the question, water is in which state? It means water is a solid or a liquid or a gas at this temperature 35 degrees Celsius. We know melting point of freezing point, melting point of ice of freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. Boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. This temperature 35 degrees Celsius is between 0 and 100 degrees Celsius. Therefore, water is in the liquid state. So you are going to take down this particular statement, write this example. So 35 degrees Celsius is between 0 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. Therefore, water is in the liquid state at 35 degrees Celsius.
Sir, what should I give the title?
Wait. You can write the title as substance to be, you can just put the first part of the statement that is there, that only you can write the title. Or you can write to determine whether the substance is in solid, liquid or gaseous state.
Answer heading.
Yeah. To determine a substance to be in the solid, liquid or gaseous state. This is the heading that you are going to put. And then you will copy down that statement and you will write down that example. On the basis of this, several MCQ kind of questions are also going to be there. I'm going to give you the worksheet today based on these kind of questions. If you have any questions, you can ask me. The next part is melting point and boiling point of pure water. You have already written this down. 0 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. So melting point is obviously 0 degrees Celsius and boiling point of pure water. This term is very important. If the water is not pure, then these temperatures will not be 0 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Celsius. The temperatures will change if there is any impurity, if you put any salt or any other impurity in it. These are known as physical constants of a pure substance. This term is also very important. Physical constants will be applicable only to pure substance, that will determine the purity of the substance. If impurities are there, then these values will not be same. As I said, if water is not pure, then the melting point will not be 0 degrees Celsius if the ice is not pure. Same way, if water is not pure, then its boiling point also is not going to be 100 degrees Celsius. How these temperatures are going to change? If impurity is present in water, it means if you suppose if you put some salt in water, its melting point decreases and boiling point increases. Okay, now as I've said over here, just for the sake of example, I am taking here, if the substance that is water is pure, melting point will be 0 degrees Celsius, boiling point will be 100 degrees Celsius. Now, if there is any impurity present in water, this is the part that we are taking, impurity present in water, then the melting point decreases. It means its melting point, say, will become minus 1 degree Celsius instead of 0, because its melting point is going to decrease. It will be less if there is any impurity present in water. For example, if you put salt in water. And its boiling point increases. Its boiling point, say for example, will become 101 degrees Celsius. These are known as physical constants, this will determine the purity of substance. Okay. So this is what is the next part that we are going through. Melting point of impure water is below 0 degrees Celsius. This is the example that I've taken just for the sake of example that I've taken. Obviously, it's not going to be minus 1 degree Celsius, but it will be less than 0. And then the next part, boiling point of impure water is above 100 degrees Celsius. For example, here we have taken 101 degrees Celsius if some impurity like salt is present in it. This is how the purity of any liquid or any substance can be checked. You can check the purity of substance. Suppose if its boiling point is exactly 100 degrees Celsius, then that water is pure. If it is boiling point is slightly more than 100 degrees Celsius, it means there is something present in it, some impurity is present in it. Okay, you can take down these parts. Then we are going to take up the definitions of boiling and melting. You can just take down these parts which I am highlighting right now. Can copy that down and then we'll go on to the next part.
Be minus 1 degree. I mean, freezing point will be minus 1 degree and boiling point will be 101 degree.
Yeah, it will be less than 0 and more than 100 if there is any impurity present in it. If there is any impurity present in water, then its freezing point will be less than 0 degrees Celsius and its boiling point will be slightly more than 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is exactly what is there in the next part. Okay, that is boiling. This can take place at a fixed temperature, which is boiling point of the liquid. When the liquid is pure, it will boil at the fixed temperature. It means that temperature is not going to change when the boiling process is taking place. This is going to come ahead, which will be known as heating curve and cooling curve. If it is not pure, then the temperature will be different from the boiling point of liquid, as we have discussed here. Okay, its boiling point of water, that is impure water, will be slightly more than 100 degrees Celsius and its freezing point will be slightly less than 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is the same example that is being taken. The melting point or boiling point of substance is fixed if it is pure. Example, pure ice melts at 0 degrees Celsius, pure water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. If there is impurity in water, then these temperatures will change. Obviously, again, I'm repeating this. Its temperature, that is freezing point, will be slightly less than 0 degrees Celsius and its boiling point will be slightly more than 100 degrees Celsius. The next definitions which I'm going to consider over here is melting point definition. These definitions are going to be very, very important. You may be asked these definitions. Is the temperature at which solid changes to liquid without any change in temperature. It means when melting is taking place, when the process of melting, that is solid ice, is becoming liquid water, at that time its temperature is not going to change. That is very, very important, without any change in temperature. Now freezing point is exactly opposite of this, is the temperature at which liquid changes to solid. Here it was solid changes to liquid when melting point is happening, that is melting point in melting point definition. And here when freezing is taking place, that is freezing point definition, liquid changes to solid, again here without any change in temperature. The last definition of this is boiling point definition, is the temperature at which the liquid changes into its vapor. Water will change into water vapor at 100 degrees Celsius only, no other temperature, obviously if it is pure, without any change in temperature. Okay, you will just take down whatever is there on screen. If you have any other questions, you can ask me.
So we need to write the definition only or everything.
Everything that is there on the screen.